Hi Arjen,
Hey, Martin.
how are you doing?
All good. Pretty busy. The promotion for the solo album, lots of interviews, more than ever. It's weird. I think, I make a solo album, no one is interested, but really it's like 70, 80 already. So yeah, lots of interviews and of course the shows in a few weeks. The
Eh,
nerves.
The nerves
The
already.
nerves already. Yeah, yeah.
So for people who don't know, what will the show be?
It will be 30th anniversary of Ayreon.
Hmm.
And the first half of the show will be songs that we never played before in the 013, which is scary, because there's a reason we haven't played them, maybe they won't work, but I like that, I like taking risks. And then the second half, you know, to eliminate the risk, we play all the songs that we think people want to hear. So the so-called hits.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Is there one song that you're gonna play before the break that you actually haven't played that you say, well, it was tough, but we managed to do it somehow? Is there one song that you can?
Well, they're not hard songs. They're not difficult songs, but they are like quiet songs,
Yeah.
There's a build up this time. Last show we did, 01, was basically more is more. That was the credo. And so we're going to do something different now. And I think it will be very exciting to build it up slowly. You expect the first song to go, but no way, it really builds and it builds. And because there's so much to see. We have this LED screen with amazing visuals and lasers, and I'm not going to give away too much. I can't, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but there's so much to see. And I think the previous show we did 01, there was maybe too much to see, I had like surround sound through the whole venue, and people were, oh, really? No, we didn't notice. So, yeah, scaling it down a bit, but in a cool way.
And well, during your preparation, are there any thoughts or maybe surprises that you encountered with your own material?
Not really. The band is so incredibly good, and they're family now. They're always going to be there. These people are so amazingly good. So yeah, yes and no. They surprise me every time they do this difficult stuff. And on the other hand, I know they will. you know. So no real surprises. There are some sad things like illnesses in the crew and also the band members. Unfortunately, Edward Rekers not doing well at all, so he can't do the shows, which is totally sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you find a solution and make it work.
And what is the solution?
I'm not allowed to tell you yet.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um, the Aryan project, of course, but now your new solo album. Um, I'm wondering what is for you a starting point when you say, well, now this is going to be a solo album or not?
The biggest difference, obviously, is that I sing everything. Because with Ayreon, like the previous albums, I had like 20 singers on one album. It's silly. And these 20 singers all play characters, which makes it a rock opera. And when I do a solo album, it's just me singing, so it's definitely not a rock opera. It's definitely a concept album because there is a story, and the music is adapted to my limitations as a singer, so to speak. So I'm not your metal singer, who can do all the. Oh, that sounded quite good actually, but no. I wouldn't classify it as like a heavy metal album or something. There's many different styles on it, which there always is on my albums, but maybe even more extreme now.
Yeah. Um, your previous solo album was Lost in a New Reel, uh,
Yes.
13 years ago already. What made you decide? Well, now your previous release was Star One. What made you decide? It's time now for a new solo album.
Well, actually, the previous release was a lot of stuff. Even after Star One, I
Oh,
did.
sorry.
Yeah, I did Supersonic Revolution, and I
So
did
it's true. It's true.
I did Plan 9, and I did Simone
Okay.
Simons. And the reason I
Excellent.
say that is that all these projects were for other people. Simone obviously was a solo album for her, so I did what I thought she wanted. The Plan 9 was for Robert, so he could tour with our old band again, which works out great because he's touring. So it was a lot of projects for other people, and at some point I was empty. I was like, no more inspiration, nothing. Like, what now? And then I decided, well, let's do a solo album. That's relaxed. I don't have to arrange any singers. I don't have to think too much. Just let the ideas come to me. And whenever I have an idea, I go into the studio and try it out. And that gave me a lot of peace. Um, and it was 13 years ago, as you said, the previous solo album. So it was time to do it.
Yeah, and well, the concept, of course. I've written down 5 months left, so we have 5 months left on Earth.
Yes.
But something I think the space and time traveling is well, it's something that you're really interested in. What made you decide? Well, now I'm going to write a story with the theme of we have 5 months left, and asteroid is coming to Earth. What triggered that?
Always the music. It's always, I always have the guitar nearby, and then I put it on all the little ideas on my phone. Then I go to my studio. I listen to all these ideas, and then I hope that these ideas are going to inspire me for a story. And as I said before, the ideas I had were so eclectic. There were so many different styles that I needed a concept that would also have all these different emotions and all these different styles. And and then I suddenly came up with the idea, like, what would people do if they only had 5 months left to live for whatever reason? Because everyone would do something different, People would like, hey, party as long as we can, Other people would be sad. Some people maybe would take their lives. Other people would like call their lost son or whatever. So it gave me a lot of work to choose from, and also there were like really sad songs and really happy songs. So there was a lot I could do with this concept.
Yeah, what was the starting point? What's the first song you recorded?
Well, I always start with the music instrumentally, so the songs are just randomly. I come up with all these songs, ideas. By that time, I have no idea yet what the order of the songs will be. And before I know the order of the songs, I can't write lyrics. So first got to finish the songs, then make an order. And that order is usually, of course, you want the best songs first, and then the best song at the end. So people will have a good feeling. And you want big song, small song, big song, small song. So a lot of dynamics. So once that is done, then I start writing the lyrics. So obviously, when I write the lyrics, I work kind of chronologically because it's a story. So the first lyrics I worked on were probably the first song. I should say the second song because there's a little narration intro. Yeah. The clock ticks down, which basically zooms in on on all different people and what are they doing with the last 5 months.
What would you be doing with the last 5 months?
Well, in this story, it's about Sanctuary Island, and Sanctuary Island is actually the place where the asteroid is going to hit the Earth. Now, there's this character who is a character from my previous solo album, Dr. Slumber, and on that album he had a euthanasia home, so he's quite a dude. At this time, he arranges bus rides to the place of impact, and it's called the Blue Bus. I would definitely want to be there. I would want to be in the place of impact. I would just want to see that asteroid come and, okay, land on my head, no pain. I would want to be on the other side of the world, where things slowly go awry, and people are slowly dying of famine or tsunamis or. For me, it would be like, let's get it over with, bring it on.
Is it also your curiosity maybe of seeing it, seeing the asteroid?
Of course, it would. That would be amazing. It would be amazing to see that thing coming. Unfortunately, you can't enjoy it for too long. But but yeah, that would be an amazing moment.
Yeah. Is it something that well, do you think it can happen? It will happen soon, or?
I think by now people they can see it come, so I think we're still safe. But yeah, it could happen anytime. It has happened. Was it 65 million years ago when the comet destroyed the dinosaurs? So yeah, anything is possible.
Yeah, sometimes there are news stories about maybe an asteroid coming to Earth in 2032 or maybe 2027.
Right. Yeah.
So, well, like you were saying, maybe we as a human men, we as human, maybe we can stop the asteroid. I don't know. You're working together with several people on this album. Why did you choose Mike Mills for the narration?
Good question. I love narration. I've loved it ever since War of the Worlds, with Richard Burton, and I like people to be a part of the story. I want to pull them into the story. I don't want to make it too cryptic. I want everyone to understand it. A lot of people are non-native speakers, so a narration will help you get into the story. But on this album, of course, there's a lot of sad things happening, but there's also funny things happening. So I needed someone who could do the sad stuff and the funny stuff. And immediately I thought of Mike because he's got both. He's got that character. He's got both sides to his character. He can be extremely funny, but also like quite a bit dark and serious. And that worked out great. I asked him and because for me, he's one of the biggest talents in the world. And I've been working with him for 15 years now, and I try to involve him in every project I do. So I asked him, could you do this as well? Did you ever do it? No, but I'll do it. But there's one thing, I have like a terrible Australian accent and I can't hide it. And I was like, don't hide it, exaggerate it, that's what I love. That's very cool. So.
Did you write his words or did he write it himself?
I told him what the songs were about. I told him approximately what I wanted him to say. Here and there, I had a line like always look on the bright side of life, being a Monty Python fan. Here and there, I had a line that I wanted him to say, but I would say 80% is his. Which is very important for me because he has to narrate it. So he has to sound geloofbaar, credible. Is it credible? I don't know the English word now. I've always worked that way. The previous solo album had Rutger Hauer, who also wrote his own narration. And I had the same with the Q from Star Trek. Who did the live show. He wrote his own narration. So I think it gives it just that little bit extra if it's their own words.
No, I think he has got some sternness in his
right.
He says, but he also has the humor and the tongue in cheek.
Right. Yeah.
Well, then you work with Floor Jansen, of course, on the song "We'll Never Know." She hits a really high note in there. Well, you worked, of course, with Marcella. Why did you pick or ask, of course, Floor for this song?
Thing is, it's a very, very, very sad song. It's about a loving couple, and they expect a little baby girl, but she will never be born. So they will never know what she would look like or what she would do in her life. So that's sad, and a lot of people maybe, lost their kid or had an abortion or whatever. So a lot of people, I didn't want to make people sad, and I didn't want to be manipulative, like, oh, this is such a sad song. Now I want you all to cry. Um, so I thought the only one who can get away with this would be Floor. If Floor doesn't sing this, then I'm gonna change the lyrics. And I sent it to her, and she got tears in her eyes, and she was like, "I'm a mother, and these lyrics are amazing." And you can hear in the way she sang it, especially that high note, that she put a lot of extra emotion in there.
Yeah. So because of her experience of being a mother, you wanted her to sing it, of course.
Yeah, because the way she is, everyone knows Floor. Everyone knows she's very genuine. There's nothing fake about Floor. Everybody loves Floor.
That's good. Well, it's not a theme on the album, of course. You say, well, one song. Well, you mentioned earlier in the interview, well, what would you do if you have 5 months left? Well, the song We'll Never Know, but of course, prior to We'll Never Know, it's more of an uplifting song, music-wise too. It's called Shaggathon. Well, what is the story behind that song?
Well, it was a very happy song, so I needed a happy lyric for that. And if someone asks you, what are you gonna do if you have 5 months to live? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Well, I'm gonna have some fun. Maybe people will turn out not to be as monogamous as you thought they were. So they would party. They would go for it. They would get it on. There's a lot of words for it. And I couldn't avoid this. I thought there has to be a song like that on the album. And at first I was very careful. Like I want to, I don't want to overdo it. I want to be a bit cryptic. But at some point I just threw in 69 and Doggy Style. And I was like, what the hell? I'm not going to be careful at all. So, again, it's a very happy song. And immediately after that, you get the very sad song. And I'm lucky to have Mike in there, who does the narration from one song to the other song. I'm not sure if otherwise, it would have worked.
Yeah, well, the song ends actually with a barking dog. Whose dog is it?
It's Fjordje. It's my doggy, and he's on the front cover too, like here.
Oh yeah.
So he just had to be on the album.
And how did you get him to actually bark the way that you wanted?
Oh, he's easy to make him bark. He's here. Fjordje, do barky. There he goes. Was it too soft?
A little bit. Maybe he can do another one.
Fjordje, you want to do barky? Barky. Doe maar, Fjordje. Oh, kijk eens. Yeah, easy to make you bark, Fjordje. He's like a little pit bull.
Yes. Well, you said, with the song selection. Well, you already mentioned Shaggathon. We'll Never Know. Dr. Slumber's Blue Bus. Actually having a ride towards the place of impact. Do you actually think that people, if it actually will happen, do you think many people would want to be at the place of impact?
I don't know. I'm 100% sure I would. Maybe people will have hope, maybe we'll survive it, but in what kind of world do you want to live? What I do know is that it will be complete chaos. You have 5 months to live. You're not going to go to work anymore, which also goes for policemen, which also goes for jails. Let's just open the jails, and people like my house better than their own house. They're going to take it. It's going to be survival of the fittest. And I don't want to be part of that world. I don't even think you can choose. Like, I would want to do this. I would go on a holiday. How are you going to go on a holiday? It's mess everywhere. No, it would be a very very sad and messy situation all the way up to the end. Except on Century Island, because there's a lot of hippies holding hands and singing song there in my
Well, and if,
imagination.
yeah, well, and if the governments can actually, well, contain some hope, then maybe people would continue to live their lifestyles, but it's hard, maybe.
I don't think there will be governments anymore. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you are Trump or you're the local butcher or whatever. It really doesn't matter. It's survival of the strongest at that point. I mean, the Musk is not going to say, okay, we're going to build this spaceship and get out of here. And, maybe people who want to be on the spaceship will help him build it. But, no, it's going to be a totally weird situation.
Well, one of my personal favorites. It's Just Not Today.
Cool.
It's well, hearing you actually, well, in a well, slow ballady song.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine you sitting well, in your chair with your guitar and starting the song. Did it actually happen that way?
All my songs start that way. Actually, I'm not sitting a lot. Like now, I'm always standing. Sportive guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, all my songs start that way. So thing is, because I'm always on my own and I'm sitting in my studio, more soft songs come out. You're not sitting there on your own and going, yeah, ACDC, I mean, and that idea just kept going like down, 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 and it sounded so familiar that I really had to play it to a lot of people. I have this circle of trust, which are 20 people. Like, is this something well known? Because it sounds so familiar to me. But yeah, no one could pinpoint it. So luckily I could use it. But it's one of my favorite songs. I think I loved singing that song. It was very natural. It came very easy. So I'm very proud. I think that's the song I sung best on the album.
And is it maybe the lyrics? It's written in a theme, of course, but it's maybe it has a deeper meaning for you personally too.
Yeah, it's a very positive look on things. Like we're all gonna die and it's the end, but not today. It's not gonna happen today. So basically, a simple message of carpe diem, seize the day. Yeah, as simple as that.
Yeah. But then obviously the last song, our final song. In the song you sing, well, approximately 10. It's a long song, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
14 minutes, but towards the end you sing, writing songs no one will hear if you're singing about yourself.
Yeah.
A funny line, but actually also, well, the album title. Why this line? Was this line prior to the album title, or was it picked?
No, I had another. The song was, album was called something different. And I was trying to get artwork for it. So I had like very famous artwork people make artwork for it. And it just didn't work. It didn't work. And the title didn't work. I can't remember what the title was. I think it changed a couple of times. No, I don't remember the title. So suddenly I thought, let's do it myself. Let's just take the doggy, go to the beach, and take it to Zeeland, Zeeland. I took some photos there at the beach, and let's see what happens. And out came this actually very funny shot, where me and the doggy are just sitting there and playing songs that no one will hear, writing songs no one will hear, while the asteroid is just seconds away from destroying it all. So I've always liked that humor. It's a bit like Hypnosis, my favorite art designer from the 70s. He always had that little bit of humor in there. So yeah, then I suddenly thought, that line that's from the lyrics would be a really good album title. It was a bit scary, of course, because when you make a bad album, that's perfect food for the critics, saying these are indeed songs no one will hear. So that's the risk I was taking.
But it was worth the risk, right?
So far, I haven't heard it yet. So,
Good.
but I added. It was a question of I had to answer a lot. I added live at the end. So people ask, "Are you ever gonna play this live?" And it's no songs, no one will hear live. So
that's good. Maybe in 20 years then.
maybe if we get that far.
No, but I mean, being referenced to what we discussed.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't say 30 years because
Yeah.
really far. The last line that you sing on the album is, do you know? The last line of the album?
The last line I sing on the album. Oh, I don't know. I know the last spoken line, but
Yeah, that's no. That's that I'm going to refer to within a few minutes. But the last line you sing, "Were we alone, we will never know."
Okay, yeah. That's something I always return to. Are we alone in the universe? And I had the same song in on the previous solo album. Maybe we're just all alone. That's it, our little blue ball and nothing else. And at this point, I was thinking, yeah, we always think like maybe one day we'll meet the aliens, but yeah, humanity is gone, so we'll never know, if there's life out there.
In your story, we will never know, of course, but maybe in your lifetime, do you think we will know?
No. It's weird. People always think like, oh, he must believe in aliens and all that stuff. But no, I think the universe is just way, 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 way too big. The distances are way too big. And also, the time is like way too big. Stretching too far. So no, I don't think so.
Well, actually, last spoken word, mission complete, let the new phase begin. Okay, explain why you picked this line as the last spoken line on the album.
Well, I always like at the end of an album to make a reference to another story. So this time I like references, especially to Ayreon, and I know that fans appreciate it. And as I had this story, I thought like, damn, this is the second time I kill humanity. I kill off whole planets, and the 01 album of Ayreon was basically about this alien race called Forever, who directed the asteroids to the Earth 65 million years ago to extinguish the dinosaurs, to make space for the human race to evolve. So I thought, a quick thought was like, well, they tried that and we pretty much messed it up so far. So let's go to the next stage. But I don't want to explain too much. It's basically a little joke, a little Easter egg there at the end.
So we will know within a few years then.
Definitely, yeah. Because next up is an Ayreon album, probably. People are a bit tired of my side projects, I think. So who knows?
Are you already working on it, or is it just now in?
Yeah. Yeah, but not lyrics or not story. Like I said, first finish it instrumentally and then hope that the music will inspire me to come up with a story. But usually, I always tell you I have no idea what the next project will be. But I think, fans are really waiting for a new Ayreon. So,
and in your current working schedule, your tempo, what year will be the new Ayreon released then?
Well, solo album I can do within a year, maybe even less. But an Ayreon album is a lot of work, with all these guest musicians and a whole story, and usually a double album. So that will take me 2 years. So I don't think I will make next year. Also because the release of the the Blu-ray of the shows we have in September. I also have to mix that, which is a couple of months of work. So not next year. So
Okay. Well, then we have something to look forward to then.
hope so.
Thank you for your time, Arjen.
Always a pleasure.